Hey everyone, Adam here with another RimWorld guide, this time about clothing. So people were asking me how I deal with the micromanagement involved in making clothing, having people wear the right stuff, dealing with tattered clothing, etc. So I decided to make this video to show you how to automate your clothing production in RimWorld so that you never have to worry about it again. So in this video, I'll be going over automating both the production of clothing and setting up rules so your colonists automatically wear the right stuff and never get that dreaded tattered apparel mood debuff. Alright, so let's start with making the clothing. I'm going to assume that you already have complex clothing researched. With this researched, you can place either a hand tailor or electrical tailor bench. If you have the materials and excess power, I highly recommend the electrical one. In late game, it may even be worth having multiple electrical benches. Once you have your tailoring bench placed, you're going to want to click it, then click the bills button, then click the add bill button. Now, depending on your map, you may not have to worry about some of these clothing types. As a general rule of thumb, you want to make basic clothing first, then whatever outer layer and hat is best for your environment or the upcoming season. This map is pretty warm with just 10 days of non-growing season, so I'm going to show how I would set this up. Under the Add Bill button, I'm going to click on Make Pants. Now, if we leave it as is, your tailor will make a single pair of pants and then suspend the order. We don't want that. We want to be able to set it and forget it. So, click on the Details button, and then click Do X times. We're now going to choose do until you have X. We then want to set this number to the same number of colonists you have plus 1. You'll need to come in and adjust this number each time you gain or lose a colonist. There is a mod that will do this for you, but I wanted to show how it works in unmodded RimWorld. So for this colony, we have 10 pawns, so I'm going to set the number to 11. This is so we'll always have an extra pair of pants in storage when one of our colonists unequips a tattered pair. If you want a bigger buffer, you can increase this number further. It's also important that we checkmark count equipped. This will make it so your colonists' equipped clothing counts towards the total, therefore stopping your tailors from overworking. Also, make sure you leave tainted as an X, since most colonists will get a mood debuff for wearing tainted clothing. Now comes the really important part. Set the threshold for the minimum hit points to 51%. This makes it so your tailors will begin making pants right before a pair becomes tattered. I also generally move the quality slider to normal, but that one's up to you. I'm also going to leave both only allowed ingredients and pause when satisfied X'd out. While we're in this screen, I'll quickly go over the rest of the menu options before moving on to the rest of the automation setup. You can click the Take to Best Stockpile button and choose what the tailor will do with the clothing item once they complete it. If you have some dedicated haulers, you may want to set this as drop on floor so that your tailor moves right on to the next project without having to do a hauling task. This will depend heavily on how you have your stockpile set up. Below this, you can restrict the work to a single colonist or set a minimum skill allowance for the tailoring job. This can be useful if you are making clothing out of a valuable resource that you don't want a novice tailor to waste by making poor quality items. On the right side, you can choose what all materials you're okay with your tailors using to make this clothing item. So if you want to make your parkas all out of the warmest material, such as thrombo fur, you can do that over here. All right, now that we have the tailoring bench set up for automated production, we need to make sure your colonists are set to remove clothing before it gets tattered and equip something better. To do this, we're going to first click the Assign button on the bottom bar. Then click the Manage Outfits button on the top left. Here you can click Select Outfit to choose from a list of default outfits or ones you've already created, choose New Outfit, or Delete Outfit. For the purpose of this guide, I'm going to quickly make a new outfit. Let's make one for warm weather for our ranged combat colonist. First, we want to click New Outfit. Once in this new menu, rename the outfit to something easy to remember at a glance. Like I said, I'm going to make this one as warm weather ranged. Now comes the most important part, the automation bit. As you can see, we have another hit point and quality slider. We're going to set the hit points to 51%. This is what's going to make your colonists never get the tattered apparel mood debuff. In RimWorld, clothing begins giving a negative mood debuff at 50% HP. Colonists set to this outfit will automatically take off clothing at 51%, put on something with a higher percentage. I'm also going to go ahead and set for normal or better quality, and I'm going to outlaw tainted apparel. Now we'll go down the list and select any type of clothing that we're okay with our ranged combat colonists wearing during warm weather. To speed this section of the video up a bit, the only thing I'm going to change is to turn off toques, jackets, parkas, and shield belts especially. It is very important to never let your ranged combat colonists use shield belts, as having one equipped makes it so they can no longer shoot guns or throw grenades. Now that we have created the outfit, we need to assign it to our colonist. To do this, go to the Assign button at the bottom of the screen, then click on the Anything button next to a colonist and select the new outfit. You can also drag the selection down to change several colonists at once, which is handy when you have a cold snap or winter's coming and need to switch from warm weather clothes to cold weather ones for multiple people. And that's it! Just set your tailoring bench to produce enough clothing for every colonist, plus 1 or 2. Make sure it checks everywhere, including equipped clothing. Set the hit points to 51%, then create an outfit for your colonists with the same 51% HP buffer and assign it to them. It sounds like a lot of work, but after a few times, you'll be setting this up within seconds, and it's going to save you a lot of time and trouble in the long run. Alright, and that does it for this clothing guide for RimWorld. I'm curious though, do you have a certain piece of clothing you really like in RimWorld for some reason? For instance, I don't know why, but I just love seeing everyone walking around in double strand cowboy hats. Those are the red ones. Definitely let me know in the comments if you have something like this too. And if you like the guide and want to see me make more, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. And as always, thank you for watching.